initial verse, you notice that Master has been going from the Four Noble Truth to the 6 parameters, right, before that. So it's necessary, obviously, this emphasizes the importance of understanding all the teachings, and the truth of suffering is necessary because that's the reason why one is awakened to seek the supreme enlightenment. So the awakened mind is undefiled, and the essence of true suchness is emptiness. And the awakened mind is undefiled, and defiled is that one who is awakened. And awakened mind is that what it means. The mind has already been awakened from all incrustation and obscuration, and we have the clarity of the mind. So the essence of true suchness is emptiness. And then obviously emptiness that one is able to see, no longer be attached to any of its forms. So that means if you understand the 5 skandhas, and that's in total emptiness, and that is well explained in a dialogue between Kuan Yin and Sariputra, and it's became, which today is the Heart Sutra. So hearers and solitary realizes transcend illusion and abide in clarity. And obviously for hearers, as you know, and obviously the Four Noble Truth, this also is in the Four Noble Truth plus the 12 cyclic existence. So to transcend illusion and abide in clarity, which I just mentioned about clarity of the mind. With permanence and joy unchanging, our nature's essence is harmonious. I'll come to this line in the next page. With purity and self, we are at ease, safe, stable, and liberated. And the purity of the self, one who has been, was able to get rid of defilements. So this the explanation. The awakened mind is undefiled is our intrinsic nature of true suchness. So if we understand when the awakened mind is undefiled, then we need to understand that after hearing the Dharma, and we need to awaken ourselves, we need to journey within. Okay. So, but most of the time we are still very stuck in what is outside. So when we interact, and this is well explained in the 12 cyclic existence, when the moment we're born in this life, we have 6 roots, interact with the externality of conditions, 6 that would appear, and the 6 consciousness therefore arise in the worldly ways. So when we do that, we tend to be mesmerized by what is in front of us, and therefore we need to understand the emptiness outside in there if we need to realize the essence of true suchness. And having the wondrous existence within, is to be able to understand what is, and then one to me, I think one of the most important thing is understand your existence in this life. And if you understand your existence in this life in the Dharma, and you are able to attain that purity within you, and to me that is the wondrous existence. The feelings exist within me, and what Master say about you like the causes and conditions to feel them for yourself. The only way to understand how others are feeling is if we go together to people who are indeed of need of existence, experience helping them together. So this particular line obviously explain about the bodhisattva path. So to go into that state whereby we recognize that existence and the wonder of that existence, and be able to then realize the true emptiness. Then when we go amongst the other people, that we will no longer be defined by them. Okay, when we realize the awakened state within yourself, the feeling of realizing true principle cannot be seen, but nonetheless, it truly exists. So this is the awakened mind. We must retain to undefiled awakened nature, which is all inert within us, as is intrinsic within us, which is the pure nature, the Buddha nature. So when our minds are no longer contain any trace of afflictions or defilements, then we are pure and empty. We have permanence and joy unchanging. Now, if you remember this part here that I explained to you here, is that Master said, talk about permanence. Everything is impermanent, but why is this impermanence here? Because the truth is permanent. It doesn't change. And this joy unchanging, I mean, if you remember your the third of your infinite minds, right? And it will say joy, and that state of that joy is unchanging. And because of worldly joy, it's a moment between true unhappiness. Okay, and it's the same way, worldly unhappiness is a moment between true happiness. But this state of unchanging joy is a state, I call it sympathetic joy. And this is the joy without knowing sorrow. So our nature's essence is harmonious, empty, and empty refers to the true emptiness, and harmonious. And referring to this part, your harmonious refers to the wondrous existence and the state that we should be in. Maybe you go inside yourself, you've dropped all the defilements within you. So we in this lifetime that we have, and what I'm trying to say is that actually we are in this journey of self-correction. So with cessation of craving, there's nothing for suffering to rest upon, and thus all suffering is eliminated. And this is the noble truth, right? The truth of cessation of suffering. We engage in spiritual practice on the path, escape our bonds of suffering. That is the achievement of liberation. So how does one escape our bond of suffering? We escape our bond of suffering by purifying ourselves. And how do we purify ourselves? We do a journey of self-correction. So the purpose of this life, for me, is the purpose of attaining the good character by changing myself and understand and acknowledge my habitual tendencies and correct them. So we are narrow-minded and we're not unwilling to give in away the smallest object. So we're so attached to it. We do not yield to others because they attach their own opinion. And then we have to take issue with everything that we see. So we must not only eliminate greed or attachment, but willing to give to others. So when you take the principles of wondrous existence to heart, the true principles will be in our mind, and we can adapt to all phenomena. So it doesn't matter all the many phenomena, we can't change that, they will come. But phenomena, is understand, is a manifestation of our own mind, and how we interpret that is all the skandhas. So we understand the emptiness within that. And then we are no longer default and be harmonious and with everyone, any phenomena of people, then you realize then the wondrous existence. And our nature's essence is then harmoniously empty. So in the way we live, we unconsciously manifest the habits in our thinking and the seven consciousness within us. And so therefore we need to understand, we need to acknowledge that. But if we don't, we cannot go through life of self-correction. So the lessons learned is the causes we create with desire and greed are the root of suffering. Mastery of the truth of cessation is something we must manifest outwardly. So we need, this is a journey that we are taking in. So in this lifetime, as much as we can, we try our best as a householder to eliminate all the defilements within us and go through this life of self-correction. So, and so we must at the same time, because we take embodies of the path, must go among the people. And when we go amongst the people, not only that we go amongst the people to help others, but go amongst the people to train our mind. That is the one that is also extremely important. And serving is a journey of learning. It's a step of learning. So by practicing the three fears of emptiness, we can always have permanence, joy, greater self, and a purity. The three fears of emptiness: the giver, the receiver, the object, or the gift. So in contemplation, trying to relate to this recording. So what is this life that we have? I must have been mentioning, right? So we need to eliminate the defilements and afflictions. So you are on a life sentence of self-correction. This is our life. Serve your sentence well, because the sentence is one that is replete with freedom of choices in life. You know, the sentences to other realms, you don't have that choice in life. I mean, the hungry ghosts, the animal realm, and the hell realm, or even the asura for that matter. So we need to serve this sentence well. So because we have freedom, the greatest power that we have in our human life is the freedom of choice. The choices you make are the choices of a wisdom life. Choose foolishly, and one must bear the penance of the karma, and it could be down in the lower realms. If the life sentence is not necessary suffering in one regards the stages of life of both aging, sickness, and death as a journey of learning and growth. And that is a part about the wondrous existence. As a practitioner, you can be rewarded with a long life of practice. So on relationship, a short one, on painful relationship, the more you suffer, the more you realize the truth of suffering, is it not? So therefore, having a painful relationship doesn't mean that it's bad, because you are paying penance of your past karma, you're purifying yourself. So therefore, what can you do? So you learn and grow out of it. Okay, Karen, brothers, sisters, thank you.
Yeah, Canon so much, Brother Chin. Sorry for the short time allowed for the sharing.